First one I'm seeing, do you have to be tax resident of a particular country, or can you be tax resident of no country? So yeah, good question. That's exactly what we're talking about. That's a huge argument, and I see people go on and on and on in certain forums, and good for them. It's really up to you as an individual. What I can tell you is you need to understand not just the tax rules. So for some countries, there are fallback rules. So like certain European countries, an extreme case like Italy, for example, we have an Italian client, and Italy recently passed some rules that say, you know what, if you go and you live in a tax-free tax haven, like if you're in the UAE in Dubai, or if you're in Malaysia under, let's say, the MM2H or a similar program, something that means that you're living tax-free somewhere, the Italian government reserves the right to tax you just as if you were still in Italy, even though you're not in Italy. You have not been back, you've been outside for a number of years. Similarly, the ATO in Australia will say, okay, we understand you're outside, you're doing your thing, but prove to me that your property domiciled somewhere else. Let's see a rental contract. Let's see utility bills. Let's see a tax, that you're paying taxes somewhere else. Somehow prove to me that you're properly settled somewhere else. And if you can't, your country of origin reserves the right to continue to tax you. So that's one thing, the fallback rules. The second thing you need to consider is if you're independently wealthy and live off a trust fund or whatever, that's fine. And we do have clients that are so fortunate. But for most people, they have to be working and they have investments and they need to be doing something. So even though you may be not in any one particular country, that money is being earned somehow, somewhere, and chances are it needs to be taxed. So you need to pay attention to the rules. Remember, we spoke about the place of effective management or minded management. If you're running a company from within somebody else's borders, even though it's incorporated somewhere else, even though it's been banked somewhere else, chances are they're going to want to tax it, right? And then two, the rules around tax residency and counting days and stuff like that. Before, I can't say the word, otherwise it gets edited, right? So before the health crisis, and you know what I mean by that. So before the health crisis, people could be doing visa runs and they could be moving frequently and whatever. So therefore, technically, they can legally avoid triggering tax residency, but now not so much, right? Most people can't move around that quickly. So therefore, by default, you may be deemed to be resident somewhere. So, and then of course, you have the banking rules, which we discussed, which means that yes, even if you beat all those issues or factors or criteria that I mentioned previously, banks want to see tax documents to prove to me that this money has been earned legally. And I know you have a website. I know you can show me receipts. Sorry, don't trust them. Give anybody 5 minutes on WordPress and they have a website, 2 minutes on Excel, they have receipts, right? So we need something more substantial. Show me a document that evidences that this money has been taxed. And if you can't, your money can get frozen. So the long and short of that is you can try to be tax resident nowhere, but in 99.9999% of the time, it will eventually bite you. So hope that helps you in making that decision.
Please subscribe, like, share, and comment below. Our books and upcoming event are available at htj.tax. Email us at help@htj.tax to engage us, to advise on international tax or business matters.